user controller. This is, and it is starting. No, that's why it is taking some time. Okay, this is the user controller we have. I think I just removed this request mapping notation. Oh, sorry. Just wait. Okay, it's okay. It is starting. Maybe it has a starting problem a bit. Once Spring is started, na nobody can stop it. This is the service layer we have, and we have the repository of the user as well. Okay, this is the user repository basically, and we have the pom.xml also. Okay, this is the pom.xml user repository, user service implementation, and user controller. Okay, all those methods we have. Okay, that's fine. Now, okay, so we want to create a one method to update the fees of the user. Okay, to update the fees of the user. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so here I can do that. So first of all, we need to change the repository. We need to create a one method for updating the fees of the user in the repository. Then we can do something. Okay, then we can move to the service implementation. So where we can implement the, okay, okay. So update fee, update the fees of the user, and here we have to read two things. Okay, into user ID and into user fees. Okay, so set user fees equal to given user fees. Okay, where user id equal to user id, that's it. Okay, so this is the one method in the repository to update the fees of the user. Okay, now we have to consume this particular method in the service layer, and in the the method in the service layer we have to consume in the controller. That is the syntax, right? So before consuming this method into the service layer, we have to declare the method in the, okay, space first. Okay, we have the user service interface where we have to implement all the abstract methods, right? So here I can implement one abstract method, public string, okay, something like, user fees or update fee. Okay, int user id and also int user fees. Okay, maybe which also raises some global exception also. Okay, this is the method that we want to create in the service layer. Okay, so we have to implement this service, okay, method in the service implementation. So Yeah. अरे यार I'm unable to add. Is Chaitra joined? Actually, I'm unable to click
Yes, sir.
admit. Done. Okay. Now, okay, we created one method in the user service interface. Okay, then we have to implement in the service implementation for sure. Na? So just hover it on and click on the add unimplemented methods. I mean, I just restarted the system. That's why it is taking much time. Okay, please bear with it. Click on the add an implemented method. It will implement one method called update fees in the service layer. And I think I have to close the Spring Toolsuit, then I'll restart the Spring Toolsuit. Okay, just allow me to do that. Okay, here we have the update fees method. Okay, we can update the fees. Int status equal to, again the same thing, int status equal to user repository dot amma user repo dot update the fees. Update fee method. Update fee, where we have to pass user id and user fees to the repository. Okay, now we can implement the same if else which we implemented here. Okay, just we need to change the written statement. So here uh, fees updated to so and so, fee updated to so and so user. Okay, that is the output of this particular method. Okay, and if not, okay, if is there any error occurred, if the user is not found with a specific user id, then we can raise global exception, which is something went wrong. Okay, so this is the service layer, and here in the controller we have to consume those method, we have to use those method na? So here we can consume that particular method. Okay, which is very similar to this. So here, okay, we need to read the user ID and user fees. User fees. So with the name of update fee. Update fee. Okay. So we are adding the update fee, and you can use the okay deposit amount, withdraw amount, something like that also. So here we have to mention user fees. Okay. Service dot update fee. Okay, user id and user fees, that's it. Okay, we implemented the updated fees method also. Okay, we have a control, we have a one rest api to update the fees of the user. Okay, so here you can implement any kind of methods just like this. Okay, you can implement any kind of methods. Okay, so here we implemented the one method to update the fees, one method to allot the room to the user, one method to update the phone number of the user. Okay, one method to delete, update the user, and add users, get users, so on. So we are performing. Okay, so this is the basic concepts. Okay, the basic apis that we need for a project. Okay, we implemented every damn api as of now, right? So now we need to take care about the security of the application. Okay, so actually when we are going to connect this particular application with front end part, Okay, when you are when you are connecting your Spring Boot application with Angular part, there we need to find, okay, there we need to find a REST API for the login also. Okay, to perform login we need a REST API for that. Okay, so here we have to discuss something interesting about the security. Okay, so we can achieve the security in the web application by using the different tokens. We can achieve the security in the web application by using different tokens like session objects we have, OAuth we have, and JWT we have, and there is so many other providers also to maintain the tokens in the web application. Okay, I will explain you what is the token, why we need a tokens in the security of one web application, what it is. Right, we need to discuss the theory before discussing the actual original concept. Okay, so let's go to the paint, MS Paint. Guys, it will take around 1.5 hours to complete the this one. Okay, so after discussing the basic security, okay, first of all we can understand what is the JWT and how we can use the JWT in Spring Boot application. Then we can start the basic Spring security concept. After understanding the basic Spring security concept, we have to go to the JWT tokens. Okay, as of now, we implemented everything in the REST APIs. Okay, we have so many REST APIs in our application as of now, right? So here you can, okay, now you can have the security for your REST APIs. We have to design the security for REST APIs. Okay, so we can do it. Guys, my screen is visible, no? Someone please acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir, visible.
my laptop is getting stuck, no? I don't know whether I am in the meeting or not. Okay, if I suddenly left the meeting, please give me a call in WhatsApp. Okay, don't forget. So I'm closing the spring because I want to restart the spring. Okay, let's open the paint to understand the theory of JWT. Mm, come on, P. Okay, this is the paint. Many of you already know this. Mm, okay, let's assume this is the client. Okay, this is the client. Okay, this bigger one is the web server. Mm, actually, this is the web server. Okay, it's not a calculator. It's a web. It's a web server. Okay, remember. So actually, I want to write something here. Okay, this is the client. Okay, he is web server. Okay, he is a web server. Okay, now we have to understand why we need the security and why we need the jwt in security. Okay, so generally I will write what is meant by jwt. Jwt stands for JSON web tokens. Okay, so jwt means JSON web tokens. Okay, you know what is meant by JSON. Okay, so JavaScript object notation. Okay, so here, okay, these are the different pages. For example, these are the different pages like p1, p4, okay, p2 and p5 and which is p3. Okay, so our web server has 5 pages. Our web server has 5 pages, and those 5 pages has the dynamic content. Okay, these 5 pages has dynamic content. For example, okay, one page have messages of you. Okay, one page have the, okay, notifications that you received. One page has some friend request which you received. Okay, so it has a some, confidential information related to your personal information. Okay, so here no one can access that particular web pages until unless you are verified, until unless the person is who requesting, okay, the person who is requesting for the page must be verified to access these pages, because, okay, because it has a confidential data. It has a confidential data. For example, client is requesting to access p1. Okay, client is requesting to access p1. Okay, but he is not verified. He doesn't he doesn't mention his username, he doesn't mention his password. Okay, so he is not verified one. Okay, we don't know who is he. So web server will ask the client, hey client, you are not verified yet, so to access that particular p1 you need to log in from this screen. Please log in, then only I can allow you to access p1. Okay, this type of messages will web server send to the client. Okay, because p1, p2, p3, p4, p5, these are the confidential data pages. Okay, these are the web pages which has the confidential data of your personal information, so no one can access it until unless they are verified. How to verify them? By using the username and password, right? By using the username and password only we have to verify them, right? So now, okay, let's say this client is verified. Okay, client is verified. Now client wants to access the p1. Client want to access p1. Okay, now web server will send the p1 to the client, because, okay, client is verified, so obviously the web server will send p1 to the client as a response. Okay, your client is successfully verified, that's why p1 is, okay, responded to the client. Okay, now, okay, after seeing the p1, now client wants to see p2. Now client wants to see p2. Okay, again client has to, the client has to verify na. Okay, to access every page we have to verify first. Okay, now again, okay, to view the p2 as well, client has to verify, right? Client has to verify for sure. After verification only we have to, okay, send him the p2. We have to send him the p2. Now we can send the p2. Okay, so it is okay when we are having 2 or 3 pages. Okay, what happen if we have 100 pages? Okay, if client wants to access 99th page, okay, client has to request 90, client has to log in for 99 times, right? So this is a hectic task, okay, to log in every time to access the page. Okay, what if, okay, you log into the Facebook. Okay, let's assume you log into the Facebook. Okay, now you want to access the messages. Now you want to access the messages after logging into the Facebook. Now you can access the messages without any logging in, because you are already logged in. Okay, now you want to send a one message to the Basker. Okay, now you want to send one message to the Basker. Again you have to verify your account. No, we are not verifying our account when we are sending the message, or when we are posting some videos or images in the Facebook. Okay, only we are logging only once, right? Okay, when we are logging one time, you can access all the pages. But as of now, we developed our Spring application, okay, to access one particular REST endpoint. To access one particular REST endpoint, the user needs to verify for every time. The user needs to verify for every time. That means user have to log in for every single damn thing. Okay, so which will create a hectic task to the user. Okay, so here we can do one thing to eliminate this particular process. Okay, so user logging 99 times to view the 99 pages, user logging 100 times to view the 100 pages, which is a very very difficult task. Okay, so here we can do one thing. Okay, that is, whenever user trying to log in into our system, okay, whenever user trying to log in our system, okay, so we can store the login information here. Okay, we can store the login info. Okay, we can store the login info here. And okay, whenever the user is requesting, okay, so we can send this login info along with the request. Okay, we can send a login info along with the request. Okay, so here this login info is in the encrypted mode. Okay, once the user is logged into our system, we stored login information in encrypted format. Okay, in encrypted format. Okay, so first let's assume, I mean, client is want to access the P1. Now client is logged into our system. Now we store the information of the client. Okay, we store the information of the client in the encrypted format. Whenever user trying to access P2, now we can send this encrypted format. Now we can send this encrypted string. Okay, we can send this encrypted string to access the P2. Okay, now we can send this encrypted string to access the P3. Okay, to access P4, we can send the same, encrypted string for every damn thing. Okay, so here we are storing the login information until unless some certain time. Okay, for 5 hours, for 6 hours, we can store the login information for 5 hours or 6 hours as per our, our wish. Okay, so whenever user wants to access more number of pages, he no need to log in again, because we are already having his data. We are already having his data in the form of encrypted string, right? So this encrypted string is nothing but the JSON web token. Okay, so this encrypted string is nothing but JSON web token. This is the JSON JWT token. Okay, we can store the JWT token. Okay, so in the form of JWT tokens, we are storing the login information of the client, okay, to access more number of pages in our web server. Okay, so this is why we have to use the JWT. Okay, guys, understood what is meant by JWT? Why we need the JWT? JWT stands for JSON Web Tokens. Guys, got it or not? Tell me,
Yes, sir.
everyone. Understood
Yes,
now?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now we have to know more things about the JSON. I said, I mean, JSON will be in the encrypted format, encrypted string, right? JSON, I mean, JWT is nothing but a encrypted string. So what is the contents of this encrypted string? Okay, we can see that in a one particular website. Okay, we can go to the website of JWT. Okay, so go to the Google. So here type jwt.io. Okay, Java JSON Web Tokens.io. Okay, this is the industry standard. You can see JWT tokens are industry standard. Okay, so in the real time also, in the real time applications also, we have to use the JWT. JWT is the most powerful web tokens that you can design with any language. Okay, for a web application. Okay, so here we are using this JWT to do our task. Okay, now you can just scroll down. Here you can see, okay, this is the one JSON web token ma. This is the token, okay, which is in an encrypted format. You can see this JSON token is in three different colors. JSON token is in three different colors. Okay, and this JSON token is separated with this dot. Okay, JSON tokens separated with this dot. Okay, so generally JSON token, sorry, this JWT token is the, it has a three main parts. Okay, JWT token has three main part. Okay, you can see the main parts here. The first one is header. The header means type of the algorithm that we are using. Okay, so he is using HS256 algorithm to convert the string into this encrypted format. Okay, to convert a one string into encrypted string, we need a one algorithm, right? So this algorithm is using, okay, HS256 is the algorithm which is used to decode the JWT token. And here we have the second one. Okay, this, this purple one is the payload. Okay, payload means username. Okay, so if you have some username na, so that username is nothing but a payload. Okay, so username, your login time, okay, how much time we have to give the access to the user, and all those information is the part of payload. Okay, so and here in the verify signature, okay, base URLs. Okay, to convert one string into the algorithm, we need to specify the base hoses. I mean, we need to combine the headers, payload and all. Okay, so here we are using the signature. Okay, signature is the main thing to convert the, okay, one string into the token. Okay, so here JWT token has three different parts. One is header, one is payload, one is signature. Header is nothing but, in the header part, the JWT is going to mention the type of algorithm that we are using. And in the payload option, okay, it can specify the username. Okay, it can specify the username. And also, okay, so it will mention the login time. That means at what time he logged into the system, and how much time we have to store the information, 5 hours, 10 hours, 10 minutes or 15 minutes, something like that. Okay, and also coming to the signature, in the signature we have to combine the both header and payload with a secret. Okay, so secret is the key. Okay, secret is the key. So Java, Java automatically converts a signature, automatically converts the encrypted format into the normal string format by using this secret. Okay, secret can be anything. Secret can be your password generally. Okay, to encrypt the one particular string, we need a string, we need a one secret, that is a secret key. Okay, if you want to decrypt the data na, you have to use a secret key to decrypt the data. Okay, so for example, you want to convert Bhaskara into, okay, one encrypted string. So there you have to use the one key, one, you have to use one password to decode. Okay, so there, if you want to decode encrypted string into Bhaskara, you need to use one particular secret key. Okay, so if you use that particular secret key, then only you can, okay, decode it. Okay, so that is a secret, and we can define secret as anything. Okay, so these are the different parts of the JWT: header, payload and signature. Okay, here basically we are using HS256, algorithm. We can use so many algorithms. Okay, these are the different algorithms, but the best one is HS256 is the best algorithm for JWT tokens. Okay, we are using the same thing. Okay, so here we have to understand how JWT works, how Spring Security achieves this JWT. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, this is a brief introduction to the JWT, but okay, before that we need to work on the basic basic Spring Security. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, to convert to use this particular JWT tokens, na, we have to use one Maven dependency also. So just give me a moment, it will load for sure. Launch. And this is why we need JSON web tokens. Let's close this beautiful diagram. I want to save it. JWT. Okay, just wait, it will open for sure. And in the meanwhile, okay, we want to achieve the Spring security, na? So let's add Maven Spring security also. So Spring Boot starter security Maven dependency. So we need a security dependency for our application, we can use it. So do you know which version we are using? Forgot. Okay, no, we know no need to concentrate about the you know version, because okay, Spring will automatically download the required version. Come on, yeah. Okay, just wait for a few minutes, it will load. Okay, in the meanwhile, so give me 2 minutes, I'll be back. Okay. Okay, I'm back, and it is also loaded, I think so. Yes, it is loaded. Okay, so this is the project that we are using. Okay, now we want to add Spring security to our project. So let's add Spring security dependency in the pom.xml. I think we are already having this pom.xml here. Hey, come on here. Okay, so this is the pom.xml. So here we have to specify Spring security. and we don't need the version because Spring will automatically download the required versions. Okay. Okay, done. Okay, Spring security is added. Okay, now if you want to do anything, you have to log in for sure. Okay, you have to perform the login authentication for sure. Okay, let's try whether we need a login authentication or not. As of now, okay, I am using the basic Spring security. I didn't add anything to retrieve from the database or something. Okay, so just we have to run this particular line, run as Spring Boot application. Okay, let's open this. Okay, we are using the basic level Spring security, right? So definitely, okay, it needs to log in and log in through the basic password which Spring is provided for us. Okay, we have to copy the password from the console. Just wait. It will generate a one automatic password for you. Yes, the Spring is security password. Okay, so we have to use this password to perform any kind of actions in the database, right? So now I'm going with Postman. I want to, retrieve some rooms or retrieve some, add some rooms. Okay, retrieving, adding rooms and users and all. Okay, let's do some actions in the Postman. And definitely it will take some time for sure. Okay, so here actually I am retrieving the rooms here. You can see. Okay, I can do the same thing. It is stuck at that point. I copied the password, but it is not opening. Just wait for a few minutes. Okay, so now we can do that. Okay, now you can see I am not adding anything. Okay, I just want to retrieve the data, okay, from the database without logging in. I am not logging anywhere. Okay, I'm not logging anywhere. So just I can click on the send. Arey yaar, come on. Okay, sending the request. Sending the retrieving the data from the database without, you know without logging in. So here you can see we got one message as unauthorized. You are unauthorized, baby. So you have to, okay, authorized person to retrieve the data. Okay, it is asking to authorize. So how to authorize in the Postman? So to authorize in the Postman, you can see in the, okay, authorization bar. Okay, here you can select basic authentication. We are performing basic authentication, basic auth. Okay, so what is the username? That is a basic user. Okay, user. And here we have to perform the password. We have to mention the password, remove the password existing, and paste the new password that we copied from the console. Okay, every time, guys, every time when you are relaunched your application, the password is going to change. Okay, when you are using the basic authentication. Okay, I am sending the request now. Now we can see, yeah, now we are getting the information. Okay, whenever we are trying to log in so whenever we are logging with a, username and password, now we can retrieve the data. Now you can retrieve the data here, you can see. Okay, now I want to post the data. Okay, post the data, post, and I am using the same authentication. Okay, I'm not changing anything in the authentication. Okay, In the body, I can pass the new values 104, and which is something like Vrushbhadri is a new room, and it is a non-AC room. Okay, non-AC. So you can see we are having 101, 102, 103. Okay, I am adding 104 room. Okay, I am adding 104 room with authentication. Okay, with specific authentication. Okay, now you can click on the send. Okay, okay, get. Okay, sorry. Actually, here we have to change the name. Na? We have to change the name. Add. We have to specify the add. Okay, now you can add it. Hmm, why it is forbidding us? I think let me check with the authentication. Same password only. And the body I'm using. And let's see if it is okay forbidden us. We can do something else. Let me check with the room controller. My computer is playing with our emotions now. Where is the room controller? Okay, here is the room controller. Okay, so room is the name, and we are trying to add. Okay, but still we are unable to do. I don't
Sir,
know
what is
why.
the port number?
I think port number is 4200 only.
Sir, maybe because of the CSRF.
No, no, actually it has to work. Let's check why it is not. Mm, let's check with the port number. Where is the port number? Okay, port number 4200. 4200 postman body. Okay, posting the data. Why?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, postman want to add post it. I mean, post command doesn't work in postman after we add the swaggers. It happened with me. If you will do it in swagger, it will post, but in postman it won't post. You can delete it. You can get the data, but it won't post. Last time you did with the I think user MG project. I guess
Okay.
with that.
Okay.
At that
Let,
time, it wasn't working either.
okay. Then let's try to modify the data. Na? Then update. Let's try to update them. Let's see whether it will work or not.
No, sir. Where there is a put and post command, it won't work.
Mm,
It
I
will
think.
only work to get and delete.
Okay. But it should. Okay. I'm trying to do something. 03 only. Okay. Port update. Let's try. Okay. Okay. Mm, I think maybe because of this, we are using the basic level Spring security. Maybe That's why we are unable to do anything here. Okay, now okay, as of now, let's leave it like that. Okay, now we can do, we can send some information. Okay, so we have the users in the database. Okay, we are already having some users in the database, right? So based on the users of the database, okay, we are trying to do. Okay, actually it is showing some, the basic user authentication with a spring security spring password, right? Now I don't want to do that. Okay, based on the, database. Okay, based on the database, I want to perform the, login authentication here. Okay, let's try to do that. Okay, here use, I think HMS Spring is the database. Okay, select star from user. Okay, so here we have the user, one user we have Chituri so and so. Okay, so bachi 007 is the password. Okay, now we can use this particular Chituri to do that. Okay, so to work with database, obviously we need to work with the configuration, right? So let's open the configuration file here. Okay, configuration file here. Now we can write some information in the configuration. Okay, so did you remember what we have to write in the configuration? I think we already implemented spring security na, what to write in the configuration. So here, okay, spring configuration file must be extended with, okay, must be extended with one class called web security configurer adapter. Okay, so we can perform extends web security configurer adapter. Okay, adapter. अरे यार, just give me a moment. Hello, hello. చెప్పండి సార్. I am only UA UX trainer. నేను ఓన్లీ యూఏ యూఎక్స్ చేస్తాను. వీలైతే జావా, ఐ నో జావా ఆల్సో. నో నో నో, నేను కాదు. ఓకే ఓకే. సో వీళ్ళు అసలు మనకి కంటెంట్ లేదు కదా, దాన్ని బట్టి నాకు ఐడియా లేదు సార్. కంటెంట్ చూసి మనం చెప్పవచ్చు. అవును అవును. సో ఇట్స్ బేసికలీ 3 months. డైలీ 1 hour ఓన్లీ. యా, చాలా ఉంటాయి, బాగుంటాయి సార్. అంటే మినిమం గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్, అంతే సార్. ఓన్లీ కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్. అవును, అంటే ఈసీఈ కూడా ఓకే సార్, పర్లేదు. Hmm. So actually what you're doing, okay, so we are performing Spring security configuration, okay, with MySQL data JPA, right? So the first thing we have to do is Spring security configuration. Okay, we have to design the Spring security configuration here. Okay, so obviously Spring security configuration must be extended with web security configurer adapter. Okay, then okay, we have to inform Spring about this Spring security configuration, right? So here we can use two annotations. One is configuration annotation. Array, yorra Swami. Hello, క్లాస్లో ఉన్నా చెప్పండి సార్. ఓకే, ఏమో సార్ నాకు తెలీదు, నేను లేనే దాంట్లో. ఆ, ఆహా, అంటే జనరల్గా ఏంటి అంటే హైదరాబాద్కి ఎన్ఎస్డిసి వచ్చింది. మేబీ దాని గురించి మీరు డీల్ చేయగలుగుతారా లేదా అని ఏమైనా చెప్తారేమో. ఆహాహా, ఒకసారి మెసేజ్ చేయండి. ఆహాహా. ఆ, ఓకే ఓకే, అందాక మీరు క్లాస్ అయితే తీసుకోండి, మళ్ళీ ఆయన మెసేజ్ చేస్తే తీసుకోండి, అంతే కదా. ఎగ్జిట్ అయిపోండి. సో ఆయన మెసేజ్ చేస్తారు కదా, ఒకవేళ వస్తే అప్పుడు మీరు చూసుకోండి. మీరు ఎంతసేపు వెయిట్ చేస్తారు, క్లాస్ ఉంటుంది కదా. ఓకే, so configuration is must be enabled for sure, and we have to enable the web security as well. Security. Okay, and import these two annotations. Hmm. Hello, why it is not suggesting anything to us? Configuration. Okay, configuration from Spring annotations and web security also. Web configuration. Okay, so we enable the web security for our application now here we have to design, okay, the content. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to override one method of web security configurer adapter to perform validations, to perform, sorry, user security validations. Okay, that method is obviously we need, okay, to perform authentication we need a authentication manager builder. Okay, we need a authentication manager builder. Okay, this web security configurer adapter has, okay, configure method which is reading authentication manager builder as the parameter. Okay, so we need to override that particular method. Okay, so here search for configure. What is happening? Okay, configure. So here you can see we have the three configure methods. One is authentication manager builder, one is HTTP security, one is web security. As of now we need a authentication manager builder to perform authentication. Okay, you can click on this. Okay, it will auto generated some code to you. Now here, okay, we need to perform user details. We need to read the user details now. We need to read the user details from the database. Okay, so to read the user details we need a one service layer. Okay, we need a one service for that. Okay, let's design the service layer for that. Okay, that service layer is nothing but my user details. my user my user details service. Okay, my user details service, I'm going to create in the service implementation. Okay, this is the thing, and we have to create this as a service layer. Okay, service annotation is very important. Okay, so this particular class, okay, this particular class can extends the my user detail service, okay, user detail service. So I think that is the interface, so that's why I'm using implements user detail service, okay, user details service. So just import this user detail service. Okay, now we are having the my user detail service, which is having one important method, that is load by username. We have to load the user by username. Okay, we have to implement those method. Okay, that's why click on the add unimplemented method. Okay, now we have the one method which is loading the user based on the username. Okay, actually, okay, we have to retrieve the user from the database, and we have to find the user based on the username of the user. So okay, we need to work with user repository. Okay, so here I will create a one method. Okay, user u1 equal to user e1 equal to, okay, so we need to perform dependency injection with user repository, user repository, user repo. Okay, so here we have to use auto-void for dependency injection for sure, import user repository, and also auto-void. Okay, and make it as a private. Okay, outsiders cannot use this, and use import the user from the model also. Now here, okay, user repo dot, okay, find by username. Okay, I'm creating one method in the repository which is which is going to, okay, load the user, which is going to find the user based on the username, okay, which is provided in the login bar. Okay, so here, okay, we have to pass the username which is receiving, which where we are receiving the content. Okay, pass it to this. Now we have to implement the username method which is not existed in the database now. Okay, username method which is not existed in the database. Actually, I think so I already implemented this. Let's see. Mm, so here you can see we have the one method, okay, which is going to read the user based on the username. Okay, find by username method is returning user to us based on the username to provide to this method. Okay, so definitely we will have one user na. Okay, now we will have one user now. Okay, actually we can return the user, but here, okay, you can see, okay, the return type of the this method. What is the return type of this method? Load by, I mean, user details. Okay, the return type of load username, sorry, load user by username method is user details. Okay, but we are having only user with us. Okay, we are having user object. Now we have to convert user object into user details, right? User object into user details. I think when we are learning the Spring security, okay, when we are learning the Spring security, we created a separate user details where we imported this user u1 and we converted the, okay, u1 into user details, right? Now we no need to do that. Okay, we no need to create a separate file to create user object into user details. Okay, we can do that in a single line. Okay, we can do that in a single line. So okay, the thing is, I will show it to you now. Okay, so actually we need to create the new user details, right? New, okay, user details. Okay, write the framework, I mean the complete path of the thing. Spring framework, sorry, Spring framework dot, okay, organization dot spring framework dot. This spring framework has a security core, security, and it has a core also. Okay, okay, spring security core. Okay, so here we need to have the user details, right? Means in this thing we need to have user details. Okay, user details, we have the one package called user details. Okay, so here we need to convert the one user into user details. So here you can do that. Okay, here we can do that. So where is the username of the user? Okay, this u1 object has the username of the user. So okay, what you can do is u1 dot get username. Okay, u1 dot get username, and here we have to pass the password as well. u1 dot get password. Okay, and here we have to mention the one array list for authorization. Okay, we have to create one new array list here. Okay, array list, and import the array list. Okay, okay, now we have the new user details with us. Now we converted user object into user details in a single line. Okay, no need to create a separate class to convert. Okay, so here we can return this. You can return the user details now. Okay, now we are returning the user details, you can see. Okay, so this is how you have to convert user object into user details. Okay, we are returning the user details from my user detail service. Okay, so okay, we have to consume this particular method in the security configuration. Okay, we have to consume this method in the security configuration. So how to do that? So here we have to create a dependency injection for my user details. Private my user details. Okay, everything must be private. My user details service. Okay, here we can create user detail service. Okay, so here we can perform auto void to create automatic dependency injection. Okay, so import my user detail service from service implementation and import this auto void also. Now in this place, okay, we have to pass the, okay, we have to create the authentication by using this authentication manager builder. So auth dot, okay, auth dot user detail service. Okay, where is the user detail service? This is the user detail service. Okay, this is the user detail service. Okay, copy this and paste it here. Okay, we performed, okay, authentication. We created a authentication manager by using the object of authentication manager builder. Okay, so we did that. Now we need to convert the password. Nah, we need to have the password encoder. Did you remember? We need, definitely we need a password encoder for the Spring, right? So it is the time to create the password encoder. Okay, let's create the password encoder for Spring Bean. So public password encoder. Okay, public password encoder, that is get password encoder. Okay, so here we can return the no op password. No op password encoder. Encoder. Okay, dot get instance. Okay, import the password encoder and bean also. Okay, now import the bean. Okay guys, these are all the things which we already discussed in the class. That's why I'm going fast. Okay, so we discussed this password encoder, we discussed this configurer, and we already discussed this my user details. Okay, we are already discussed these things. That's why I'm going somewhat fast. Okay, so after logging, after performing the login operation, after performing some different operations, okay, we have to implement the JWT. Okay, that's why I am implementing basic user authentication with Spring and MySQL. Okay, first I am implementing, okay, Spring with MySQL. So just relaunch the application. Now we can try to, okay, retrieve some data or try to do some task. Okay, So just wait, it will relaunch. Whenever we relaunch now, you are not you definitely you will not get that password. Okay, auto generated password we won't get because we already configured the security. Okay, just wait, it will relaunch the application. Hello Spring, come on. Just wait for a few seconds. In the meanwhile, we can type the IP address. So click on the new tab, search for try to retrieve some room details. Okay. Mm, when we are in the class, no, then only it is talking a lot. So I'm working with my laptop even after the class only. Okay, it's working fine, but I don't know what happened when we are in the class. It is lagging like hell. अरे यार, come on. Okay. Now try to open the Google Chrome. Yes, are you there? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I thought I left the meeting. विषय क्या होते हैं? Okay, thank you. Try to close this MySQL and everything, which gives extra burden. Okay, try to remember the username and password, Chituri and Bachi007. Okay. 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 Whatsoever. Okay, we want to retrieve the room details as of now. Room dot slash get. Okay. Okay, whenever we are trying to get the room details, definitely it will ask us to log in for sure, right? Let's see.
Sir, but the port number is different, I think.
Right, 4200, no? 4200. I think that's why it is loading. Okay, we got it. So now we have to sign in. The username is Turi. Okay, password is Baki 007. Okay, sign in. Okay, now we are retrieving the room details. Now you can see the room details here. Okay, so that means successfully, okay, we fetched the user details from the database. Okay, so let's try to do it in the Postman as well. Let's check whether it is working in the Postman or not. Okay, um, here us go for the no, go for the authorization. So here in the authorization, change the username Chituri and password Bati 007. Okay, let's try whether it will work or not. Mm, I hope it will work now. Arey yaar, again unauthorized. I am authorizing da. Mm, okay, if it is not working still, okay, so we can directly work with JWT tokens. Okay, don't worry, we can manage it in the JWT. Now try to retrieve the data at least in the Postman. Okay, so retrieval is happening, but okay, what if I want to add the details? Okay, okay, so we can we can solve this issue in the JWT. Okay, so now we can implement the JWT token in our project. Okay, so to work with JWT, obviously we need to add one dependency of JWT. Okay, so we can do this, we can implement the JWT after coming from the break. Okay, as of now we just implemented the Spring Security with, okay, Spring Security with our database. Okay, but actually we are using the same login interface, right? Okay, we are using the basic login interface which is provided by the spring boot, right? But it is not a, the valid one. Okay, so if we log we if we are performing login authentication from this one, okay, so we can't add this particular web page in the Angular part. Okay, we can't add this particular login page in the Angular part because it is not a endpoint which we created. Okay, we need to create a one endpoint to perform login authentication. Okay, which is going to create, okay, in the front end also, which is useful in the front end also. Okay, so we need to create a one endpoint which is very similar to this. Okay, actually we are retrieving the room details now, right? We are retrieving the room details, we are adding the room details. Okay, we need to create a same type of login authentication endpoint. Okay, where we have to pass the username and password here in the body of the request. Okay, then we'll do some tasks there. Okay, we need to create a one endpoint to perform login authentication along with JWD, MySQL by using Spring Data JPA. Okay, that is the last concept that we need to discuss. Okay, where we can implement all these errors, where we can solve all these errors for sure. Okay, remember. So we can do this, but before doing this JWT and all this stuff, okay, let's have a break because JWT token will take around 40 minutes for sure. Okay, so we have to discuss the 40 minutes of class to implement the JWT authentication in the Spring Boot. Okay, so that's why we need some break now. Okay, let's have a break for 15 minutes. After coming from the break, we can discuss the JWT. Okay, chalo, have the 15 minutes break. Come back at 11:55. We can discuss the things, and we have to complete this JWT today. Okay, we have to solve every problem that we are getting now. Okay, so we can solve every problem by using JWT. Okay, chalo, bye. Hello, hello guys. Are you back to the session? Hello, no one is there. Okay, okay, okay. Let's start the class now. So JWT. Guys, please wait. I am unable to share my screen. Google Chrome is not responding. Guys, is my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay. So again, okay, to work with JWT, we need to add the dependency of JWT, right? So go to the Maven website. It is torturing me. What happened to you, Ray? Why? Why? You are a beast. Come on, please work. Okay, so here we have to search for JWT token dependency, right? So search for JSON Web Token Maven dependency. Okay, JSON Web Token Maven dependency. Don't search for JWT. Okay, search for JSON Web Token Maven dependency. Okay, you will get one particular dependency in the top. Okay, so we have to use this particular JSON token. You can use any version. So we can use 0.9.1, which is the latest and the most used one. This is more than a mental torture, man. Hey, I'm losing my interest day by day on this laptop. Hey, come on. Finally, see this. Mm. Now paste it in the pom.xml. So here in the pom.xml, paste the JSON web token. Okay. So actually, when we added a JSON web token, I think the same thing is copied again. No, no. So I pasted the Spring Boot security. JSON web token. 0.9.1. Sorry, 100% not that. Guys, actually, wait a moment. I will restart this. Guys, please wait for few minutes. I just log in through my mobile. Okay, I'll restart the system and I'll let you know in the WhatsApp group. But don't leave the session. Hello. Okay, guys, I just restarted the laptop and let's see whether it will work. I think it will work now. Guys, my screen is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the meanwhile, we can copy the JSON web tokens dependency. Copy it and okay. In the Spring Tool suite, in the pom.xml, we have to paste it. In the place of Spring Security, we can paste this. Okay, so I'm using JSON Web Token with 0.9.1 version. Okay, that is the recent and most used version. Okay, so save this pom.xml. Okay, now actually, okay, if you want to use the JSON Web Token, so we need to create the tokens. Okay, we need to encrypt the tokens. Okay, we need to create the different class and methods for the JSON Web Tokens. Okay, so to do that, we need to create a one separate class for JSON web tokens, and we have to write some important code in the JWT. So here we have the I mean in the Google, no, so you can get the lot of templates for your JWT tokens. Okay, this is the basic template that we are going to use to create the JSON web token for our application. Okay, this is the template code. Okay, this is not the written code by me. Okay, this is the template code. We can use this template code to create the tokens. Okay, after pasting this content in our class, okay, I'll let you know the different methods that we are going to use in this class. Okay, so HMS with Spring, in the utility, okay, we have value mapper, right? In the utility package we have value mapper. In the same package, in the same utility package, we can create a JWT utility class. Okay, create a new class, JWT util. Okay, JWT util, finish. Okay, you have to create a one separate class to configure the JWT tokens for your application. So here we have to paste our template code. Okay, this is the completely template code, not written anywhere. You can see. So this is completely a template code which I got from the internet. I searched different websites, and different GitHub accounts also I searched for this thing. Okay, so this is the best thing that we can go. Okay, and I mentioned, every JWT token will have one secret. Okay, every JWT token will have one secret, which is the secret key. To decrypt or encrypt, we have to use that particular key. Okay, so here I'm taking, okay, Bhaskara as the secret. You can see. Okay, I'm considering Bhaskara as the secret key for our JWT tokens. Okay, if you want to change it to your name, you can change it here. Okay, so this is the secret key that we are going to create a JSON web tokens. Okay, so here you can see we are having one important method which is generate token. Okay, here in the JWT class, okay, JWT utility class, we have one method called generate token. Okay, so this method is generating the, okay, token, JWT token, by using the username. By using the username, you can see, by using the username of the user, it is creating the token. Okay, so we have to use this method to create the token. Okay, remember this method, generate token, by using username. We have to pass the username to this particular method. Okay, we're gonna use this particular method. And also, coming to the create token method, here we have another method which is a create token method. Okay, so we are creating the new token. Okay, we are creating the new token. Okay, so the token is available till 10 hours. Arey yaar, sir is calling. Sir, good afternoon. Sir, yes, sir, I'm good, sir. How are you? Okay, sir, definitely. Right now, I'm also checking for that, sir. Sir, I'll let you know the thing, sir. Okay, sure, sir. So you got it. Hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got your point. Yes, sir. Okay, okay, sir. Anything. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, are you comfortable with freelancing also? Okay, sir. Actually, I'm getting some induction program, sir. So I'll forward if I get any new things for induction based programs. I'll forward it to you, sir. Sure, sure, sir. Sure, sir. Okay, okay, sir. Got it, sir. Bye, sir. Bye. A lot of things are happening inside of Andeep Foundation. Okay, don't discuss these things with anyone, guys. Okay, so actually here we are creating the new JWT token. Okay, with the following algorithm. You can see the algorithm. Signature algorithm is HS256. I already shown it to you in the website. Na HS256 is the website for the JWT. I mean, sorry, algorithm for the JWT. Okay, so here we are creating the JWT token. Okay, till thousand. I mean, 100. Sorry, what it is? 1000 into 60 into 60 into 10. Okay, so can you calculate into seconds? Can you calculate? I mean, you can calculate this into the seconds. Okay, so it is a 10 hours. Okay, so 1000 milliseconds into 1 second. 1 second. I mean, 60 seconds into 1 hour. Sorry, 60 seconds means 1 minute, and 60 minutes means 1 hour. So here we have the 10 hours. Okay, if you created a JWT token right now, okay, the JWT token is valid till 10 hours. Okay, you can change it to 5 hours, you can change it to 1 hour also. Okay, so we are creating the JWT token for 10 hours. It is valid for 10 hours. Okay, so we can use the same JWT token to all the methods. Okay, that means if you log in now, if you log it into our system now, okay, so you can access all the things for the next 10 hours. After 10 hours only you have to re-log in into the system. Okay, till 10 hours you have to use the same JWT token for every action. Okay, so this is the timeline that we are creating. Okay, so 10 we are creating the JWT for 10 hours. Okay, so 1000 reference. Okay, here 1000 is nothing but the milliseconds. 1000 milliseconds equal to 1 second. 60 seconds equal to 1 minute. 60 minutes equal to 1 hour. 1 hour into 10, that means 10 hours. Okay, so it is calculating for 10 hours. Okay, so this is the method. Okay, so we can't use create token method directly because we have the generate token. Okay, from the generate token only we have to go to the create token method. So to create the new JWT token, whenever the user logged into our system, you have to call this generate token method. Remember this. Okay, so we can create it. Okay, now close everything, close everything. It is mess, so many mess is there na. So as of now we want to create a login option, right? We don't want to use the login methodology which is provided by the Spring. Okay, we need to create a login endpoint, right? We need to create a login endpoint. Okay, so tell me what I mean. Whenever we are posting the data of a room to the database, we are using room id, room name, room type. Okay, whenever we are posting the data of a user to the database, we are reading username, user password, or user id, so on so details. Okay, whenever user is trying to login into our system, whenever user trying to log in into our system, so what are the contents we need to read from the request body? Do you know what are the contents that we need to read from the request body for login? Anyone?
For
So
username and password.
yes, obviously, username and password. Okay, but in the username, I mean, in the request body, we have to read like a one model. From the request body, we have to read an entity. We can't read a one particular variable from the request body, right? So that's why I want to create a one model for the login. Okay, I want to create a one model for the login. So here, I can create a new class in the model package. Okay, so I can create this as auth request. Okay, authentication requesting. Okay, auth request. So okay, so here we have to read the username and password from the user. Okay, private string username, private string user password. Okay, private string user password and user array. Yaar, who are you da? I'm getting a lot of calls today, I don't know why. Okay, okay, so here we have to use the lombok for the getters and setters and everything. We need to use no argumented constructor and all argument constructor for sure. All argument constructor. Okay, so import all these things from the lombok only. mm, Registers, all argument constructor as well. Okay, so I created a one model named auth request to read the username and password from the user. Okay, so we created something na. So now here in the controller, we have to, here in the user controller, we have to create a one request mapping. Okay, I mean, we have to create a one endpoint for authentication login. Okay, so here I am using post mapping. Obviously we are posting the details now, so we can use a post mapping. So here I can create a one method public. Okay, so what is the class name we can mention? Suggest me some method name. Login or authentication, which one is good? Can we mention something like gen generate token? Yeah, generate token we can mention, because if the login is success, we can read the token na. So the type of the return type of this method is string, obviously. Okay, not a response entity, it is a basic string, remember. So here we can mention something like, okay, we are performing authentication, or you can mention login as well, but I want to make it clear authentication. Okay, so copy the spelling for further use, we can use it later, it is very important to use. So from the request body, I want to read the username and password, right? So what are the contents of I mean, what is the model that we need to use here? Auth request, we need to read the auth auth request AR. Okay, auth request AR. So auth request contains username and password. Okay, now we are reading the auth request from, okay, body, request body. Okay, so now we need to do some changes in the configuration file as well now. Okay, we need to add some important code in the configuration. Okay, whenever we are performing the login operation, we need to authenticate it, right? We need to authenticate the password and username. Okay, so that we need to have one authentication manager for that. Okay, we need to have one authentication manager for that. So okay, let me write the method authentication bean manager bean. We can see we have authentication manager bean method where we can perform the authentication. Okay, this is the authentication manager bean method. Okay, we can consume this method in the controller. Okay, in the controller we can consume those method. mm, how to write that? Authentication manager, I forgot the spelling. Authentication manager, we want to create a authentication manager, copy this and paste it here and make it as a auth manager or anything. Okay, so we want to perform auto wired, we need an object of that auto wired. Okay, authentication manager to perform authentication with given username and password. Okay, so here auth manager dot, it has a authentication method, authenticate. So here we have to pass the username and password. Here we have to pass username and password to the method. Okay, so here in this particular thing we need to do, I think why it is showing. Okay, we have to pass some arguments to the method, so that's why it is showing an error. Now, new. Okay, how to perform the validation? Okay, what type of validation we want to perform? We want to perform username and password authentication. Okay, we want to, you can mention OTP authentication, I mean social media authentication. Okay, but we don't need any OTP authentication, social media authentication right now. We need a basic username and password authentication now. Okay, so you can read username and password. Okay, you can see we have one method called username and password authentication, username password authentication token. So here we have to pass the username and password to this method. Okay, ar get username, it has a username, and ar dot get password, ar dot get password. Okay, now we are validating the, okay, username and password with authentication method. Okay, so if this authentication is success, if the authentication is success, what we have to do? Tell me, if login is success, what we have to do? We discussed in the, this thing na, if authentication is successful, okay, what we want to do, what we have to do if authentication is success? If authentication is success, we have to store the login info. We have to store the login info in the form of encrypted string. Okay, guys, are you getting me? Is everything okay? Hello, are you there, buddies?
Yes, sir.
Paras left. Okay, Priyanshu, what is the status? Is everything okay as of now?
Yes, sir, but it's little bit confusing.
Okay, okay. I definitely, it will be confusing for sure. Okay, see what are the things that I have covered till now. Okay, so I added JWT token in the I mean JWT dependency in the pom.xml. That is the first task. Okay, JWT dependency in the pom.xml. This is the first one. Okay, to create the JWT tokens, we need to have the class. Okay, we need to have it class, right? So we created a class from the template code. We created a JWT utility class from the template code. Okay, this is the second step. And the third step, we created a one class for username and password. To read the username and password from the request body, we created a one model for that. Okay, this is the third step. Coming to the fourth step, in the fourth step I have created authentication manager class, I mean authentication manager in the security configuration. Okay, that is the fourth one. Now fifth one, we have to create the endpoint for authentication. I am doing that. Okay, so to create the endpoint of the login, okay, we need to perform the username password authentication. I already told you when I explaining the security user, I mean Spring security, we have a lot of authentication process in the Spring. Okay, OTP password authentication, social media login, okay, username and password login, okay, access token login, we can do anything. But the basic one, the basic authentication is username and password authentication. Okay, that's what we are doing here. Okay, whenever user entering the username and password in the request body, I am reading in the form of auth request, and I am validating with the auth manager dot authenticate method. I am validating their details, okay, by using auth manager dot authenticate method. Okay, this is what I am doing now. Okay, if the login is success, if the username and password is equal to the things which is stored in the database. Okay, now we need to store the information in the form of JWT token. Okay, we need to store the information in the form of JWT token. Okay, so here we have to create the JWT token, and we have to return the JWT token whenever, okay, whenever we are performing login. Okay, so to create the JWT token, okay, we have to call one method na. What is the method to create the JWT token? I already informed you. What is the method? This is the method. Generate token is the method to create the authentication. I mean JWT token. Okay. So we have to call this method. Okay. To call this method, definitely we should have the object of this class. Na? So let's create the object of this utility class. JWT util is JWT. Okay. Auto void again. Auto void, and import JWT from the utility package. Okay, so this is the thing, JWT to utility. Now whenever the login is success, we have to generate and return the JWT token. So generate the JWT token. So JWT dot AWT dot, okay, we have to use the generate token method with the username, where we have the username, auth request has the username. So AR dot get username. Based on the username only we are going to, okay, generate the token na. So we are generating the token now. Okay, and we have to return the token. Okay, we have to return the token. I am returning the token. Okay, so whenever I am performing login, okay, whenever I am performing the login authentication, okay, I am performing the authentication with the
Sir, no voice.
Yes, sir, you are not audible now.
Sorry, I lost internet. See, I want to complete the Java by today, but the environment is not supporting to us. What we have to do that? Okay, so here, okay, whenever the login is success, okay, I am creating a new token, new JWT token based on the username, okay, and I am returning to it. Okay, I am returning to the client. Okay, so that means whenever we perform login operation in by using the postman, whenever we are performing login operation by using the postman, okay, we will get JWT token as the response. Okay, we will get JWT token as the response, and we can use the JWT token to perform all the operations, to work with all the APIs. Okay, to work with, I mean, to post the users, to read the users, to post the room, to delete the room, to do all the things. Okay, to do all the things we have to use the same JWT token. Okay, so I am getting the token. Okay, so here everything is done, but one more step is left. Okay, only one more step is left. Okay, that is, okay, we have to inform the security. Okay, we have to inform the security, right? So what we have to inform, whenever the user is trying to log in, don't ask your default security password. Okay, we have to inform spring security. Okay, whenever user is trying to authentication, whenever user is trying to authenticate, okay, don't ask your default username and password to enter. Okay, we have to inform that. Okay, to perform the login, again we need to log in? No, that's not possible, right? So to, whenever the user is trying to authenticate, don't ask the username and password to him. Okay, we have to inform like that to the spring. Okay, so we can inform that in the spring configuration. Okay, so it's in the security configuration we have to inform to it. Okay, that is how we can inform it to it. So here we have configuration method. Okay, configuration method, which is the HTTP security configuration method. We can override this method whenever we are trying to override this HTTP security configure. Okay, we have to disable the login, we have to disable the security for authentication whenever user is trying to authenticate. Okay, to get the JWT token, there we have to disable the basic spring security, right? So to do that, we can use the CSR disable. Okay, we are already used this CSR disable. Okay, CSRF dot disable dot to whom we have to disable. Okay, authorized request. Here we can mention authorized request, authorized request to whom. Okay, which is matched to the authenticate and matcher, sorry, and matches. So here we have to write our controller. Okay, this is our controller na. Copy this controller and paste it here, and manage this dot authentication. Whenever the URL is authentication, disable your, okay, thing. Okay, disable your security for only for this authentication. Okay, so here we can mention permit all. Okay, permit all. Okay, so and we need a security for every damn method other than this authentication na. So here we can mention any request other than this, any request other than authentication, we need a security, we need a security. So here we can mention authenticated. Okay, any request which is not authentication, okay, those things need to be authenticated for sure. Okay, that's what I am mentioning here, that's what I'm mentioning here. Okay, so we are done with everything. Just relaunch the, I mean, just try to run the application now. Run as Spring Boot application. In the meanwhile, we can open the Postman. Okay, And we left with one more operation, guys. No further. Okay, I think the data, I mean, I just restarted the system na, so I have to run the database, MySQL 80. We have to run it. Come on, come on, go on, go on. Okay, just relaunch this. Now our main goal is whenever we are trying to authenticate by using the username and password, we need to get the JWT token as the response. Okay, that's the target. Let's see whether we will getting or not. Description: user controller bean of Spring security authentication. What is happening? Field auth manager controller record bean of. Okay, I think whenever we are trying to get this authentication manager is unable to find are using the same authentication manager, no? And it has the method which is available in the DB. And we are trying to get this authentication manager. Okay, I think maybe the importing was wrong. Importing of authentication manager was wrong. Let's remove this and try to implement again. Authentication manager. Is it a authorization manager? Okay, I'll try to do that. No, authorization manager doesn't have a method like authenticate. No, it has not. Authentication manager. Spring framework annotation not await required to true. Okay. Search for Stack Overflow. Comma authentication manager. Okay, this one. Okay, I think in the security configurer. Okay, so here I have missed to use the bean. Okay, here I have to use the bean for sure. I forgot to use the bean. Okay, I think now it will work for sure. Sorry for that. I hope it will work for sure. Okay, Tomcat is started. You can see in 42. Okay, Tomcat is started at 4200, and we have to use the authenticate to perform authentication. Okay, remember that. So here slash user slash authenticate authenticate. So here in the body we have to pass the username and password. We will get JWT token as the response. Chitturi is the username in the database, and the password, sorry, which is user password. Okay, so here Apache 007. This is the user password. Now send it. Let's hope we will get some. I think in the authorization, did we mention anything? Okay, so this one we have to disable this. No authentication required. Okay, nothing. Okay, I think somewhere we are missing the keyword authenticate. I disabled the thing, no authentication. Okay, slash user. I forgot to use the slash user slash authenticate. Slash user slash authentication. Okay, I missed it to. So we are using the user request mapping for every variable. Every controller. I forgot to use that. Okay, I hope it will work now. Again, forbidden. No, it should not. You can't forward him. Okay, just give me a moment. I will redefine this. I removed the request mapping at a class controller. Okay, we have to get it for sure. Remove this user authentication. Just authentic. अरे यार we have to use the authentication, but I am using authenticate. I think this is the issue. The controller, the mapping value is the different one. I am searching for that. Sorry. Yes, finally we got this. Okay, so we got the JWT token. You can see. Okay, just copy this JWT token. Okay, in the Google we have the JWT website now. So here paste your JWT token. Okay, this is our JWT token. Now you can see what is the sub one, what is the username. Chitturi is the username, and it will expire after these seconds. Okay, these are the number of seconds it is going to have. Okay, we are using HS256 algorithm to create this JWT token, and you can see, okay, the username is Chitturi. That is the username we are passing now. So here it stores the secret. The secret is Bhaskara. Okay, you know the secret is Bhaskara. Okay, so this is the JWT token, and we can use this JWT token to every method. Okay, if you want to retrieve the details, okay, as of now it won't work, okay, because we need to have some more things. Okay, so here we have the JWT token. We have to use this JWT token for the next 10 hours, right? So I want to retrieve the room details. Okay, and here we have to use the this JWT token. So here you have to mention authorization, authorization. So here in the value you have to use bearer. Okay, so bearer, and you have to paste your JWT token. Now you can send it. Now you can send it. Okay, definitely the thing will be forbidden for sure, because we are using the bearer. Okay, we have to inform the, okay, Spring application. Okay, so this is the bearer for, you know, this application. So you have to separate the bearer and the JWT token, and we have to inform the Spring Boot, okay, to separate this particular thing. Okay, so we left with only that particular concept. Okay, so if you are willing, I can tell you right now, but I know most of the people are getting confused. They didn't get anything about this JWT. Am I right? Or if you are getting the things clearly, I can continue with the thing. Okay, so we left with only two steps. Okay, we left with only two steps. If we completed the two steps, okay, our thing will be done. If you are okay, I will continue. If not, okay, I will, you know, I am going to explain this JWT in the tomorrow session. Anything is yours. It's okay, my laptop is not supported correctly today. Okay, that's why it is messing up, right? We left with only two methods. If you are okay, I can continue with those two methods. If not, we can discuss tomorrow. Tell me what to do. Can I complete that? We left with only two methods, only two steps, nothing more than that. Ganesha, Rahul, Rupa, Suras, tell me
So
what to do.
completed today.
Complete it. Okay. Ganesha, what about you? Rahul, shall we complete it? Only two methods. Done. So actually we have to inform, okay, our Spring Boot, okay, to separate this bearer and our JWT token. Okay, so that is nothing but how many, what is the length of these characters? 7 na? Bearer, what is the length? BEARER 6, and we have used one space, that means 7 characters. Okay, so we have to separate the 7 characters from the string. Okay, so we have to do that. So to do that, we have to use the filter method. We have to use the filter. Okay, we have to create the filter for our application. Okay, so you can create a new class as JWT filter. JWT filter. Okay, here we can store the filter in filter package. We are creating the new package. Finish. Okay, now we have the filter. Okay, so here we have to add the filter class, I mean filter. Okay, so this is the template for filter, guys. Okay, this is also a auto templated. Okay, I didn't write the code for this. This is a template for the filter. Okay, so I can copy this filter, and here you can paste this. Okay, so I will send this filter and JWT token as well, and here you have to remove the some stuff. You have to change some stuff. And in the JWT we are importing the my user details. Okay, so we have to import correctly. Okay, that's it. Okay, so here we are using the auto void of my user detail service and JWT utility. Okay, you have to call them perfectly. That's it. You have to call them perfectly. So in this method, we are informing the Spring security, okay, about this bearer. you can see, okay, if authorization header is not null, okay, authorization header is not null, okay, if it is a starts with bearer, okay, if it is a starts with bearer, okay, so you have to create the JWT from seventh letter. You have to create the, you have to extract the JWT, okay, from seventh character onwards, because you can see what we write in the authorization header. Okay, here we wrote something, na? So copy all this. Okay, you can see. So here, this is the authorization header that I created. Okay, so it is started with BERER, okay, which is a 6 letters, and I gave the space. Okay, then I gave the JWT token, and I have to cut that bearer, right? I have to cut that bearer, so I am cutting that bearer by using the substring method. We have the string methods we discussed so long. Okay, so by using the substring method, I am cutting the JWT from the authorization header. Okay, and from the JWT token I am extracting the username. Okay, from the JWT token I am extracting the username. Okay, and these are the different things. Okay, so we are filtering the things, that's it. Okay, so I will send you all these files, okay, all these required files to you, don't worry about this. Okay, we are done with the first step. Now we have to take care about the second step, that is in the string security configuration. Okay, here we have to mention something. Okay, so whenever, okay, whenever we are trying to create the new session by using the existing JWT token, whenever we are using the JWT token to access our content, to access our content, we have to do something. Okay, so we have to do something. So here, okay, our JWT file will create a stateless sessions, ma. Okay, JWT will create a sessions for you. Okay, it will create basically JWT token, one token will create a session for 10 hours. Okay, that 10 hours is not going to store anywhere. Okay, your username is not going to store anywhere, your JWT token not stored in anywhere, but we have to do that. Okay, how you can do that? So JWT has a one special talent, that is a stateless session. Okay, it can create a stateless session. Okay, so here we have to inform, we have to create a say stateless session in this method. Okay, we can create that. So end method. Okay, here we have to write several methods to do that. Okay, so we have to handle the exception handling dot. Okay, and dot. Okay, new, we need to create a session management by using the JWT. So session management dot. Okay, session management dot. Now we have to create the session creation policy. No, what is this? Session creation policy. Search for session creation policy. This is the session creation policy. So here we have to create the stateless server. We have to create stateless server. Session creation policy. Policy. Stateless. Okay, session creation policy, which is a stateless. We have to pass this. I think so. Session creation policy, I forward the name dot stateless. Okay, session creation policy dot stateless session we want to create. Okay, dot, here we have to, I mean, I think so, we have to add the filters before creating the JWT. Okay, we can create the filter now. HTTP dot add filter. We can add the filter before the token. Add a filter before. Add a filter before. So here we have to pass the JWT filter along with username authentication class. JWT filter. Okay. So actually we need to create the object for JWT filter here. So let me create the object of that. Auto wired private JWT filter. Okay. Creation of the object. Import this filter from the filter package and we can pass this filter now. Okay. So here we have to inform the class. What is the authentication class? So authentication class is username password authentication. I think we have this in the here we have it now. Copy this authentication, paste it here, filter dot class. That's it. Okay, we are creating the filter before the JWT filter. Okay, that's it. I think so. Okay, now let's add the things. If you want to add the request mapping for this user, you can add this. And here we can mention the user as well, slash user slash authentication. Okay, now just relaunch the application. Okay, this is the perfect real-time project. Okay, now go to the here. Already we are having the JWT token, na? So copy this JWT token for the further use. Okay, I want to retrieve the room details. Okay, I am using the bearer with the JWT. Now I am sending the things. Okay, get method we have to use. Send the content. Let's pray to God. Yes, we have it. Now we are retrieving the things. Okay, now let's try to post the data, like try to add the room to the database with the same authentication bearer. Okay, same authentication we can use that because our JWT token is available for the next 10 hours, na? So that's why I'm using the same thing. Rushabhadri is a non-AC. Okay, I'm adding the new room with the authorization header JWT token also. Okay, now send this information. Yes, the room is added successfully. Now you can retrieve the room. You can retrieve the room. Yes, you can retrieve the room now. You can see 104 is also available there. 104 is also available there. Okay, now try to delete the element. Try to delete the room 103 slash 103. Okay, deleted successfully. Now retrieve. Now we can see everything is happening. Okay, 103 deleted, 104 is there. Okay, if you want to see it in the database, you can see it in the database as well. Use HMS Spring. Okay, select star from room. You can see 4 rooms are available. Now I want to delete the 104 as well. Delete 104. Delete 104. Deleted. Now let's check in the database. 104 is deleted. Okay, we can do any kind of operation now by using this. Okay, JWT token. Okay, now I want to get the new authenticate, I mean new JWT token. How to get new JWT token? Tell me how to get new JWT token by using the username and password. We have to authenticate it now. Authenticate now. User slash authentication. Make sure about the spelling. I'm very bad at spellings. Copy this authentication. Okay. Mention the username and password here. Username Puri. Okay. User password, not password. User password is something Bachi007. Okay. Now you will get JWT token as the response. Yes, we got new JWT token and copy this. Okay. Now let's retrieve the list of users from the database. Okay. We need to use the JWT token, but this one is a different from this. New token. Okay, you have to use the new token, guys, every time. Okay, and now I want to retrieve the users. Get users. How many users we have? We have only one user, that is Bhaskara. Okay, now I want to add new user to the database. I want to add new user to the database. Now try to add. Okay. So new user don't know about the rooms. So rooms are null, and the fees is must be 1,000 rupees. And I can change the ID also, amitava.org, and phone number also I can update. Okay, Amitava 123. Okay, I'm adding the new user to the database, and I want to try. I want to log in as the new user as well. Okay. Now I want to add the new user. Add and the postman. So here you have to use the same, same ID. Now post it. Okay, Amitava is posted in the database successfully. Now you can check the database. Select star from user. Okay, we have Amitava. Okay, this is how we have to do. Actually, we can't use the user ID because user ID is the auto updatable. Okay, now I want to log in as Amitava. Okay, authentication. Username and password only I want to give. Okay, I am trying to log in as a Amitava. Now only you will get the new response, new JWT token you will get. You get the new JWT token. Copy this JWT token and paste it in the website. Now you can see. Okay, the username is Amitava. The subject is Amitava. Okay, it can be expired in those number of seconds. Okay, so this is how you have to get the JWT token authentication for every REST API. Okay, so this is the Spring Boot for you. Okay, so we successfully completed Spring Boot. I know you are very hectic, you feeling like hectic in the JWT tokens. Okay, don't worry. Okay, tomorrow we can revise all these concepts. Okay, we can revise all the concepts that we discussed today. Okay, so try to add these JWT tokens, okay, in your project. Okay, if you have a confusion, you know what to do. Okay, so just give me a moment. I will update the code in Git. HMS explain. Okay, Git add, Git commit, JWT token added. See, today we discussed only these things, I think so. Only okay, we created all these things today. 280 insertions. Okay, that's nice. Okay, the code is updated. Okay, so we can do the revision also. Okay, tomorrow we can have the look on this JWT token again. Don't confuse. Okay, don't feel hectic. I am there. I will help you. Okay, even it will take more number of days. It's okay. Okay, but you have to learn it. Okay, so as of now, as per my promise, I completed the syllabus on the 9th. Okay, these phones, I want to throw this phone out of. Okay, so we completed the entire spring partner. So tomorrow, okay, if you have, I know most of the people are having confusion in this JWT token. Okay, if you are okay, I will revise the concept right now. Okay, if you're not okay, we can revise the concept tomorrow. Tell me, today or tomorrow?
Sir, we can revise it tomorrow, I think.
Okay, okay, we can revise the tomorrow, but by the tomorrow we need to complete the project. Shall we complete it by adding the JWT also?
Yes, sir. I think with the help of your repository, we can.